Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us right back here on Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. And we have a guest with us today who is a return guest, Leah Soares, Stage to Sell. And we're going to be talking with Leah today about how to win this beauty contest. Because right now, selling homes is a price war and a beauty contest, and you got to win both. So we're going to really dig into that and talk about how we can do that to get your home sold in this market that we are here in today. So thank you, Leah, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming back. And before we get into all of that, we always open up with inventory and market data. So I'm going to start with going into our single family inventory. How many single family homes are on the market right now in Las Vegas? Week over week, we've been hovering right around the same numbers. 7856 is our current single family inventory. That's Las Vegas and Henderson. We've been right under 8,000 for the last couple months. So we haven't really got too much over that. Price reductions this week are a little bit lower, $1,292. I do think we're seeing less price reductions, obviously, but I do think that that's because we're at a point now where people are coming in at the right price and not needing to adjust so drastically as they were a couple months ago. So we're starting to see that number go down a little bit because people are not dropping their prices as quickly as they were a couple months ago. What are you feeling out there from people you're talking to and what you're seeing?
Well, those numbers are good information because they're exactly what I'm seeing too. Price is not the only issue. People got scared at first because of the media. And then so basically now we understand that presentation is just as important as pricing. So they're not doing the deep price cuts. They're paying attention to really when the people are actually going to come visit the homes, am I going to grab them? I'm going to grab their attention. So
right.
Looking its best.
Right. Because a couple months ago, if you had a buyer that said, I want to see 20, well, there wasn't 20 homes for a buyer to see. That just wasn't possible. It was like, you have 5 homes to choose from. You got to pick one of these.
Close your eyes and pick one.
Yeah, and if not, let's just wait and hope the next one's better and not worse. There wasn't that option. Yeah. Now buyers are like, I have 20 I want to see on Friday, and Saturday we could see 20 more. So it's back to coaching, of coaching our clients that hey, let's narrow it down so you don't forget everything that you saw today. Let's make sure that we have our checklist of what's very important, and we're not just going out getting caught up in the showing homes cycle, which can definitely be a lot.
Exhausting process.
An exhausting process. So another thing that happened, because we are now in November, can you believe it's the end of the year?
I don't know where the year went, honestly.
Gosh, I feel like even the beginning of this year, we were in such a different market. That feels like it was 2 years ago. This year already feels like it's been like 5. So it's crazy. And yeah, we're in November. So we're here in November, and we got all the market data from last month that came in. Interestingly enough, I did speak with a nationwide news reporter recently, and they were saying that Vegas is at the top of the list of our activity halted a lot quicker and more drastically than a lot of other cities based on the data that they're looking at.
Like when we talked before too, it's basically, I kind of identify as Vegas is numb at the moment.
Yes.
And whatever reasons you want to account for that, buyers are just kind of numb and waiting to see what they should do. Interest rates, politics, everything affects that. But at the moment, there's plenty of supply, and they're just not out in full force.
Absolutely. And just in the theme of Vegas, we're drunk right now.
Yeah.
The market's drunk. Yeah. Everything's just because it is. It's really like, what's going on? No one knows what's happening. We're waking up from what just happened and trying to figure out where we're at right now. So we're just like, where's our glasses? 9 straight months we've had less closings than the same month, the month earlier. So our closings are definitely down, our closed sales. Closings are down 45% from last year at this time. So that's pretty substantial. In a 5-year comparison, we're definitely back to like, they're saying 45 to 75 days on the market. I kind of argue with that statistic as well, because I think we're more into a 90 and 120 day market.
I agree. It's definitely depending what price point we're talking about.
Exactly. Price point makes a huge difference.
Yes.
Makes a very huge difference, the type of buyer that we're dealing with. So with right now, what we have going on, we're in a, and someone else quoted this, I'm just going to be repeating it because it's my new saying, we are in a price war and a beauty contest when we are trying to sell homes. And price war, we're going to talk to you about how to win that price war when we go in and price your home, because we have to be aggressive when we're pricing. We have to be the best price on the market. But on top of that, it's not just the price, because the price isn't the only thing that matters anymore. How does the home show? I was in a home the other day. I was out with a buyer and we were looking at homes, and we walked in this home and the home was staged. And from the second we walked in the door, it wasn't just a showing. We had looked at all these other homes and they were just houses.
Next.
Right, well, next, like this is okay, but that was all right, and that was weird, and like why?
Not super memorable.
Yeah, like why didn't they do something about that before showing it? Like, it's just those weird little wonky things when you walk through houses. They all had them. They were all okay, just on the okay maybe list, right? So we walked in this one home, and the second we walked in the door, it was not a showing, it was an experience. Yes. We walked in the front door, there's mood music, there's mood lighting, there's every room was just meticulously detailed, and everything, the smell, everything was so beautiful, amazing. And
so you felt the difference, an emotional experience.
It was an emotional experience. My buyer told me, I don't want to leave.
Yes.
Like, I am in love. I don't want to leave. Like, this is just so amazing. Everything was just in awe the whole way through. What was interesting to me is I actually, because this is just the kind of agent I am, so that's just whatever. Some may or may not agree with this, but when we were done, I said, okay, now we have to take the veil off, right? So we have to walk through the house and see what the house really is, because once all this decor, which is amazing and beautiful, is gone, and, I'm the buyer's agent. If I'm the seller's agent, I want all that.
Let's make sure the condition matches as well as the experience.
Right,
look for some issues.
Well, it's not look for some issues, but look for what we're really looking at. Right. When we were in the bathroom, for instance, and the shower curtain is raised all the way up to the top, and it was beautiful, beautiful fabric. It was draped beautifully, like everything was really, really pretty. However, it was a white tile shower with a standard tub and regular fixtures. It wasn't, there was nothing upgraded about it. And it was, regular countertops, but they had some beautiful little like crystal knobs on them, and, everything. So when we went back through, I was like, there's no major dollar for dollar upgrades in this home. It's just really designed beautifully. So with all that in mind, this is what you do. This is your specialty. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it sounds like the sellers and the stagers did a beautiful job, exactly what we're hired to do, and that's to detract away from any negative or awkward or basic standard, type, finishes, and really have everybody, all of it tour the property, feel the lifestyle or feel this could be their home, and that's the goal. We always tell them, as the listing agent, my goal is to stage a property for you and your potential buyers to walk in and say, Trish, love it, where do I sign? And that's what you're describing. Yes. They walked in immediately, could feel themselves living and enjoying that home, and they were done.
Yeah, that was it. It was the experience. Everything was there. their daughter, they had, you know, a little teenage daughter, and she's like,
I love it. I love it.
yeah, she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, this is just so amazing.
This could be my room. Yeah.
Super rich. Do you see all this stuff,
Yeah.
you know, or like, it's that, you know, it was that, just that feeling and experience. And it was just, it was
So let's back this
beautiful
up for a minute,
decor-
because I know
decor.
it's a question I get asked all the time. So that's real staging, okay? Now let's compare that interaction if the property was virtually staged. It made your client's list because it looked beautiful in the pictures, on MLS pictures, online, right? So imagine had you brought them to that property, you opened the door to nothing, white walls, basic, and as you described it, very basic builder finishes, how different that experience would have been.
Well, because it's a letdown. They're up here.
Expecting
and
to see what they saw online, in person.
They're so excited. And it is that. When you're looking to buy a home, you want to walk into the lifestyle of that home. You know, they had one room was set up as like a reading room, and there's a little table next to the sofa that had a book with the reading glasses sitting on the book. But it's like, this is the room where you relax and wind down. There's no TV in there. That was the nice quiet room. It was,
And regardless if that client or your buyer would have wanted to use that room for that specific purpose, it showed value and a concept of what they could do with it. Perhaps it would be a little bit different. Maybe it would have been more of an office for them. It doesn't matter. The stager valued that space so they could feel the tranquility of what they could do with that room.
Yeah, absolutely. And they may not ever sit down and read. They may not even be readers, but they're like, oh wow, I could go over and relax and read a book over here.
Right. Yeah.
It's making the home is creating an experience, a walkthrough for you.
Yep.
And in this market, when you have so much competition, that can be a game changer on getting your home
And
sold.
not knowing exactly which property that was, it may have been very similarly priced. It may have been a little bit higher than some of the ones you'd shown earlier. But they probably weren't complaining about the price difference if there was one, because they could feel the value.
So let me tell you this. They were set on a pool. I want a pool no matter what. I have to have a house with a pool. It's a deal breaker. This home did not have a pool. This home was priced the same as a home that was down the street. And again, just because I'm that buyer's agent, we didn't make an offer on the home. I kind of like pulled back the veil and killed the deal.
Let's get back to our
I'm sorry.
wish
I just
list.
wanted to get back down to reality
That's
because
okay.
I don't want to get a call later when all the staging stuff's removed. Like, why did I do this? But it was it was the experience, and there was a home down the street, priced the same, that was a model match. It was the same home with a pool. It didn't have all the. It didn't have all the flair. It had a free pool.
It had a free pool when you're comparing apples to apples.
When you compare the two prices, yes, absolutely. It's mind blowing how much of a game changer.
They forgot for a minute the backyard didn't have a pool.
Well, not they forgot. She said it as we were going through. She says, for this house, I don't even care that it doesn't have a pool.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't even care. Like, this is so amazing. And again, I mean, if you could get the house and all the furnishing and all the staging, which is always an option, right?
Absolutely.
It's always an option when you're staging of purchasing everything there.
Move-in ready.
Yeah, that is, you can do so much. And it even amazes me with, I think it's kind of weird that it amazes me because I've seen so many homes and see so many homes all the time that it's just a reminder when I see a home that's staged, like, oh yeah, this is such a difference. How can you just take standard and make it so?
And why in our market, with as wise as we are as real estate professionals, are not all listings staged?
Yes.
Like in New York, like in California. Because if you're not staged in California, people are wondering what the distress is. Is there a divorce or is there a death? In Vegas, not all agents are savvy enough to really know the difference that you've seen and felt and appreciated with your clients.
Yeah, yeah.
I would love for us to get up to that level.
Yes.
Where we're presenting every property in its best light.
Yeah, every property staged. So I'm going to bring in some of the things that people are scared of when we talk to about staging, like sellers are scared of, or people like, when you say staging.
Unsure, maybe.
Yeah, or they're unsure. They think it's expensive. And obviously there's a cost, but the cost comes back in a return.
Absolutely.
right? It pays for itself in the end.
Yeah. And basically you can simply be dismissive and answer that staging is always less than a first price reduction. It's always less than the carrying costs that you're going to compare to. So whether it's $3,000 or $10,000 or whatever it is, because it's going to reflect on what price point you're talking about, it's never as much as what you've lost in time, carrying cost, and price reductions. So really, when a client looks into it, there is zero reason not to consider staging.
Right.
Even if you don't stage the entire property like a model home inside and out, if you at least stage the key rooms, and let's say we can tell you to ignore secondary spaces all the time if they're substantial enough size.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different ways of doing it, and it's again, it's the fear of the unknown. But you can go to our website, stagetosellnv.com. We have a little tab that says digital brochure. You know, punch in your email address, you'll get our entire digital brochure.
Okay.
Simple. I'm not going to
Simple.
bother you. I'm not going to, nag you to stage, try to talk you into it. You can look really quick what the pricing is, what's involved, and then we can follow up if you're interested.
And it sells itself.
It does.
It does sell itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always heard this too, that like your key areas of the home, kitchens.
First impression spaces is the best way to, so when you're walking in the front door, it's maybe not is the living room and dining room. Maybe it's an office, maybe it's a bedroom. It depends. When you walk in the front door, what are your key first impression spaces that you're going to see and feel? That's what needs to be at least identified and valued.
Right. And the concept of this is it's not only in house selling. So I've heard Nike stores, for instance, are set up to have a certain smell when you walk in the door. A certain, they strategically place things certain ways. So when you walk in the door, you have that experience that they want you to have. It's in sales across every industry.
Used cars, for sure.
Really?
You got a dirty, muddy one that just went, back roading, or you've got one that's been meticulously cleaned and detailed and it's got a bow on top. Absolutely. Right. It's presentation in every sales industry.
Every sales industry. So why would you not want that in selling your home, giving that
if you
big
knew it was
presentation?
available and you understood the value and your listing agent presented it like they should, then you would be able to benefit.
And this is now always in my listing presentation package. So there is another thing too. We talked about it a little earlier, like you stage vacant homes, not occupied homes, but you do have resources and connections of people that will help counsel.
We don't focus or specialize in occupied homes.
Okay.
But depending, there are several per year that we'll actually qualify and work with. So basically the best way to explain why we don't focus on occupied is because I'm not going to just charge somebody money to stage if I don't believe I'm going to bring the value to you and the results. So if you've got a client that just does not want to get rid of grandma's couch and they have to have this and they have to have that, I'm not able to work with them.
Right.
But if they're willing to let us come in and almost make the property vacant, and they keep their favorite TV and they keep their mattress, they're comfortable, or whatever some key components are, and we bring in everything else, that is still occupied. They're still living there. We've got several on the market right now that we choose to work with because they're flexible and understand the value we can bring. But I cannot bring in new on-trend current pieces and mix with grandma's couch. It's only going to make grandma's couch look worse.
Right.
So we do specialize in vacant. We specialize in luxury, but we also do investor packages. We do all price points. We do condos.
Yeah.
So
And that's another thing, another misconception I think about staging is most people, when they think staging, they think that's only luxury.
Yeah.
That's,
only the rich people can afford it.
Only the rich people can afford it. That's only luxury. That's not going to work on a condo or something like that, or it'd be too different for a condo. But then again, imagine if there's 50 condos out there on the market and you're the staged one, what's the condo that everybody's going to want?
You're going to be the one that's going to be compared to.
You're going to be the most popular condo out there. You're going to be the most popular
and like you said,
townhouse.
It's a beauty contest. Pick me, right?
Pick me.
That's the whole point.
It's screaming pick me. It's screaming pick me. And if you price right and you're priced right amongst the competition that's out there and you look the best, there's no reason why yours isn't going to be the one that sells.
Yeah. Condition and presentation is also, goes hand in hand. But we're not talking about properties that need to be gutted I won't stage those either, because again, I'm not, why should I take your money to do that kind of marketing because I don't believe in it. So we don't just do that either. So if the condition is where it needs to be, even if the next buyer might come in and gut some things and do new tile and do cabinets, whatever, that's fine. But for what it is as it sits today, we're making it look its best.
Right.
It's a full marketing package, staging, professional photos, video, all of that is involved.
Yeah, yeah, and it does. It can get you more dollar for dollar. So when you are talking to somebody about staging, how long is the process, like from the time that you meet with them till the time that we can be ready to go on the market?
Time is money, girl, right?
Yeah, well,
So-
yeah, right?
I work 24 hours a day, it seems like, just because I have to do what's best for my client. So when somebody raises their hand for help, we quickly and efficiently get them an estimate. And I don't have to go to the property to do that. We have very fine-tuned systems. You can go on our website, you can request an estimate. I have MLS access, so I can either do MLS history pics, current pics, where there's a floor plan match, or you could just say, you know what, I want living room, family room, office, master, whatever it is. And based on those and the price point of the property, and the caliber will dictate what caliber of furniture and decor I need to bring in. So I can give you initial estimates within a day or two easily. If we choose to work together, you basically can either approve the estimate as done or add or delete some rooms, go to invoice level, and then we're going to go to the property, finalize the design with a design walk. Within days, have you staged,
That's amazing.
photographed, on the market.
That's amazing, like fairy godmother. Here
Yeah.
you go. We're all fixed now.
I wish it was that easy, but yeah, we do make it look easy.
So what about people that have already put their home on the market? It's not performing. Is it too late?
It's not too late, and we get those calls every day
you?
lately, it seems like.
Yes.
Like, we really thought, previous market didn't have to do anything besides show up,
Yeah.
put it on the market.
Yeah.
No, so we are getting a lot that, like, look, it's just nothing's happening, nothing's moving. What else do I do? And we'll do renovation consultations online. So that will be, again, I'll MLS access, I'll look at the pictures with you, and, you and I'll be on the phone, and I'll be like, all right, picture one, this is an eyesore. Update this light fixture, replace this, faucet, whatever it is, or this needs to have some color on it, or get rid of the bright red walls or whatever. So we'll do that. Then we'll do a staging estimate. Then we'll get you on the market.
And that's something that I guess leads into another question as well. So like, and I've seen this, so I know the answer, but I think there's a lot of other people that haven't seen it that don't know the answer to this. So like you said, update a faucet. That doesn't mean you have to renovate a whole kitchen.
No.
It doesn't mean
It
that
could be a $40 fixture.
Right.
And a $25 or $35 handyman cost.
Can freshen up that area
The
without...
ROI has to be there too. The point of it's not just to spend money silly.
Yeah.
I spend my clients' money as if it's my money. So we have a phrase that I'll show you how to spend pennies to make dollars. And if a property needs it, whether the client knows it or not, my fresh eyes can come in and show you some simple things you can do even before we stage. And even if they don't want to stage, that's their call. I believe both go hand in hand as far as being invaluable. But even if they corrected those objections visually with some of those things and chose not to stage, that's better than nothing.
Right. That is a very good rule of thumb, and I think that it's something that people should be considering with the market that we're in. So
If they'd like to sell sooner than later,
yeah,
they need to start paying attention. Condition and presentation.
Condition and presentation are huge. And there's over the last couple of years, it is things that we have not had to, discussions we haven't had to have.
We got real
things
spoiled
we haven't had
lazy, right?
had to talk about, right? Yeah, it didn't matter before. It didn't matter before.
It didn't matter as much before. We were still very busy at Stage to Sell with all of our listing agents that still valued, understood they could even be more aggressive. But now that our market is, basically softened and, making some adjustments, and we don't know exactly how softened we're going to get, it's even more important than it was yesterday to really pay attention to those details.
Absolutely. And it's not just realtors and sellers and just the average sellers out there, but A lot of investors and people that do flips and renovations, you're their go-to. I know some of them.
Yes.
That you are their go-to. Yeah. You're the person that they call because they know they need that.
Yes, absolutely.
And they're in the business of, buying and reselling and creating the presentation, and they know that it's a key element.
Yeah, they've seen the results time and time again.
Yeah.
As far as how quickly and how better pricing they get for their profits.
So that's great. And Leah, how do people reach you? How are people going to get a hold of you? I do think that people out there, this is the time we really need to get Leah involved in these sales.
Well, you can visit our website. It's stagetosellnv.com. It's on the screen. And we've got different forms they can sign in and fill out their property information. And then again, very quickly that same day or the next day, we can get them information to consider. Mm-hmm. So that's an easy way to do it. We also have an event coming up where it's called Realtors and Home Sellers Guide to Staging. And it's actually at a public library. So that'll be information we can share as well if they want to contact us. It is next Thursday at 2:30.
Next Thursday at 2:30. I'm there. I am going to put that in my schedule. I need to be there. I'd love to see the flyer on that. I'll post it also on social because that sounds like...
We have actually somebody that's co-hosting with me too, Eon, with a photographer and media type company, and he's actually giving a jackpot package away, which is the Mac Daddy of marketing. It's like drone and video and photography and all kinds. So one lucky attendee is going to win that as well.
Oh, good. I want to be there. I am going to be there. It is good, and I would love to see a flyer.
If you've got seller clients too that you want to help convince and see the value, we'd help. We're absolutely going to be explaining that.
One thing I didn't know, which I'm very glad now, is that you said you have your brochure that's downloadable online. I think again I see it when I talk sometimes to sellers about staging. They get intimidated just by the word. They think it's expensive. They think it's something
they think model home. And, $100,000 of merchandising.
Right. When you say the word, they're automatically like, no. That's out of my price range. So instead of going there, from now on when I talk to people, I'm going to bring them to your website, download the brochure so they can see what we're looking at. Because sometimes people are just too scared to ask for price.
Yeah, they don't want to feel silly with dumb questions, I suppose they could think.
Yeah, they don't want to feel silly.
No dumb questions.
Or dumb questions, or, there's that saying that, like, if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
Right.
Or whatever. and it puts people in that intimidating, or it just feels intimidating. So knowing that they can see that, review their options, they can let their guards down. People always think the worst. And
again, like you said, options. If you're really discussing, if you don't do this, then expect that.
Right.
And if they are fine with that, that's their choice.
Yeah. And I think that's going to even be easier for me as a realtor when I'm having those conversations, knowing that. Because, again, I've always, in the conversations that I have, it's like, oh, let's call and get a consultation and get some, some pricing and everything. And they're just like, oh, well, that sounds expensive. Yeah. So this will definitely, this is helpful. I think this will help people get more on board, because it is very necessary these days in this market. One last thing before we close out today. Tiana, we miss her today. She'll be back next week. But Tiana and I have committed to bringing a home to the table every week. For this show, I should have brought a staged home just to show like the thing, but next time. Next time I will. Leah, actually, if you can send me some information on one of the homes that you staged, we can feature it on our future show. Sure. Yeah, that would be great. So you guys can see her work. We should have planned a little better on that one. However, we do have a great townhome. So this home, this is a townhome. It's located in a gated community. The community is called Nevada Ranch. These townhomes were selling just even earlier in the year this year, around $300,000. So this is a really great price. Community pool, splash pad, playground, park, security, lots of amenities there. And we have it priced at $275,000, 1,218 square foot. This is one of those split floor plans where it's a great floor plan for roommates, or even if you want your kids to be away from you. They're going to be on the other side of the unit. There is an attached garage at the bottom. So it's a really good plan, $275,000. The HOA for Nevada Ranch, they have a master plan and an association fee. So you're looking at a total monthly HOA cost of $169 with the master plan included. And it's a great price, great purchase, great condition. And if you guys have any more questions about that, give me a call, 702-308-2878. Again, my name's Trish Williams. You can reach out to me with any questions. And please, if you're thinking about selling, and I'm going to be talking to a lot of sellers about this now as well, even if we didn't start this the right way, I think it's time to fix it. So we need Leah in our lives right now. So please reach out to her and consider what she offers, because it is a game changer right now in the market that we're in.
Happy to help.
All right, thanks. Like, comment, share, tell your friends. I'll see you next week.